Welcome to this episode on the podcast. I am sitting in the shade. The summer is hitting Spain, and I am joining Adam for his paddle class. So I'm having a bit of time now, and I want to share it with you. I have a very deep hard feeling for type 4 in the Enneagram, and today I want to dedicate a whole episode for type 4. If you know about the Enneagram or if you don't know about it, it doesn't really matter. I feel that the way type 4 is explained in the Enneagram knowledge that I have met so far is that they're dramatic and they're full of feelings and they are a mess in a nice package. And I kind of want to acknowledge what's going on inside of type 4 that makes them having a lot of struggles actually in the physical world, in a physical body. About a few years ago, when I was running the company in Danish, I made some post about the yin and yang, the feminine and the masculine energies in each type. And it was really interesting because as I went through the different types, I also could see that this whole spirit and body, masculine, feminine, really step out. And especially for type 4, I went as far as 90 or 95% feminine. And I know that feminine and masculine can be very triggering because I feel that it's a little abused in our time. It's a very used and very popular wordings to use the masculine and the feminine. But if I just describe masculine and feminine to begin with, I would say that masculine is the action part that we are having. It's any kind of action in a physical body, in a physical world. And the feminine is all happening within ourselves. It is an inner experience. It is connection with our soul. And for type 4, being 90 or 95% spirit, feminine is spirit. And I believe from the Enneagram types that we are all put on earth with a superpower. Each of our Enneagram type has a superpower. And with that superpower, we can either use it for our own benefit so that we step into our wisdom, or we can abuse it as well against ourselves to avoid our fear. And for type 4, the superpower is that they're not scared of feelings. They're not scared of feeling feelings. They're not scared of experiencing feelings. So their superpower is that they can meet the darkest dark, and they can meet love, the ultimate, highest, divine feeling, love. And they have this superpower to be able to step into this enormous, overwhelming feeling. And it can be in both ends. It can be the deepest, darkest grief. It can be the most pure, beautiful love. How are they using this superpower? There is the potential to step into the wisdom. So the wisdom for type 4 is that they can share this world, emotional world, and this acceptance of emotions with the rest of the world. when they express it somehow. When they are moving into the wisdom, they are expressing this emotional world. When I'm saying expression, I mean to invite other people into your world. For other types that are not type 4, it might be words. Like for me, I'm a type 7, and my logical mind is finding it easier to share in words, because in that way I can make sure that you receive it and you understand. But for type 4, it's a whole inner world of feelings. Feelings are not words necessarily. Could also be words, but I would say then it maybe come out as poem. So not so much for the receiver to necessarily understand, but more in take us into your world, take us into the feeling, take us into this bubble of yours when you want to share an emotion. And this wisdom can only happen, any Enneagram type can only step into the wisdom when we dare to face our fear. And it would be that type 4 doesn't have a fear because they don't fear anything, and no emotion is scary for them. But there is a fear for type 4 of being ordinary, be stalling, be neutral in a feeling perspective, be stalling. I got a picture once that I felt was very accurate for what I experience force when they're sharing with me, of a puzzle, and type 4 come here to find pieces for the emotional puzzle. So the moment they're not experiencing or they're not feeling a new puzzle, it's like stalling. What am I doing on Earth if I'm not here to experience this life? Why did we come on Earth? They're possibly the ones that are mostly connected to remember the soul contract of why we are even here, why we have chosen to come to Earth, and their need to experience these different emotions. And the reason why they're not as scared of these emotions is because they are in connection with their soul 90 or 95% of, I need to decide if it's 90 or 95% of the time. And then they only need to actually move into the masculine doing, practical doing, 5% or 10% of their time. Activate and actually use their superpower. What should they use all these feelings for? What is the point? It's great that they feel these emotions, and especially when they experience love, but it becomes a life purpose when it's shared, and when they get to share that beautiful experience with others. Maybe just 10%. If we can just get into the world of type 4 10%, we are already expanding our own experience of life. But it requires that type 4 is looking away from the outside to get approvals and acknowledgement from people outside that they are unique and their world is validated, and that they really are here to experience feelings. which is their fear. They fear that people look at them and see them as ordinary. Oh yeah, I also felt grief. I know what it is. And type 4 will be like, no, you don't. I know it in a different way. I have experienced other levels. And then type 4 get distracted. We all get distracted when we are dealing with our fear. Then we start abusing our superpower against ourselves. And then type 4 abuse that they can access feelings in that kind of expansion, and then they on purpose start creating or stepping into these really deep and bold feelings to prove themselves to the outer world. So once they are okay with the world viewing them as ordinary, boring, they are disappearing. Oh, we forgot about type 4. That leaves space for type 4 to use their experience of all these emotions to then express, just to use their little masculine part of themselves to actually get into action and start expressing some of this. And this is an extremely hard role for type 4 to step into. It's extremely hard because there is willpower, there's discipline, there's commitment, there is planning. All these masculine actions is something that the spirit type 4 does not have access to more than 5 or 10%. So they get triggered in moving away from their feelings and their inner world, because who are they then? How can they trust that they're doing the right thing if they're not connected with their core all the time? So there is a little tiny minute where they need to only trust. And I believe we all have that. All types have a minute where we step out of our primary dominant energy, and in the opposite we only have trust. We have trust that what we believe in and what we are secure with is guiding us, and then we are following through. And it could also be from the masculine moving into the feminine, that in the masculine I feel safe, I have a plan, and when I move into the feminine I don't trust my feelings. So it's exactly the same but opposite. For type 4 it's very difficult because the world has never ever recognized anything towards being such spirit, being so connected with the outer world. If you only have access to all these practical and body things for 10%, then it's difficult to go to school, do homework, follow up on appointments, follow up on all the schedules. And this is stressing type 4. And this is why in the society or the world we are having right now, type 4s are very lost and they are very locked down. They're very closed up. And I believe a lot of the mental illnesses that we see are type 4s that has been done wrong or has been questioned since they were small children. And over time, with all the years, they start questioning themselves because no one is able to validate that they are not built for this society. They're not built for a daily routine. They are not built for a lot of doing. They are not built for anything else than creating. Their minimal masculine energy they have access to should be used only to create something where they express their spirit and their experience of how it is to be on this earth, feeling wise. When they step into these expression, when they actually create music, create movies, games, anything, anything where you can invite someone into a bubble of emotions that is way more than just a single event, a conversation. It's way bigger. It leaves us that are not type 4 a room to expand ourselves. It leaves a safe space for us where we can go within our own feelings. We can reflect our own feelings in what we are being presented for in a way where we will never reach what type 4 is giving to us. And that's why it's safe. We would never be too much for a type 4. We will never be too deep and dark for a type 4. We can never be too happy and too deep in the end of love for a type 4. Because they are masters in accepting all kind of emotions, it leaves the rest of the Enneagram types a huge space to play, explore. And we need type 4 to step out into their leadership and to create these different spaces where we can step into and explore and process our own feelings without getting lost, because type 4 will have a calm nervous system for us to re-regulate or co-regulate with us. If you are listening and you are type 4, which I hope you are, and that you're type 4, I would like to ask you what you're doing in a day to connect with your own core self. I want you to reflect about when you have anything in your life, when you look in the different areas of your life, if these actions are coming from pressure from outside or if it's for you. The things that you believe in this world, are they actually coming from your heart, or is it a belief that is put onto you from the system that does not understand you? The more you are able to reconnect with your core, the more freedom you will feel. The more you are able to allow yourself to connect with the divine, the more freedom you will feel. The more creativity you will feel. The more inspiring energy you will feel. The more you would motivate yourself to create from that place, to actually express this feeling. Or this connection is not even a feeling, it's like this divine connection. It is really, really big. I have coached a lot of type 4s, and it is very, I see a lot of times that it's difficult to actually figure out what is mine, and like, when am I even allowing myself to connect with my deepest parts, also the darker sides, because other people cannot have space for that. Other people, since this is your superpower and this is your wisdom, you are way beyond what other types have access to, unless they are very aware of this and they work with themselves. I believe that we can hold a space for each other to develop our superpowers and stuff. But normal society people, or normal coming directly out from the system, would not be able to have capacity and hold a safe space for you to connect with your deepest core divine self. So if you're having mental disturbances, I just want to acknowledge you that your core self is inside of you. You've never lost it. There are filters on top of your core that has been created to protect you in this world, and your mind and your survival brain has maybe developed some survival strategies for you to take over, and these are seen as layers on your core self to protect you, to navigate in this world. It's a nervous system that is extremely stressed out and is extremely alert all the time, looking out for fitting in, being accepted, of surviving, of being accepted in the tribe, aka the system, with your family, your friends. Um, and that's not you, it's just filters. And I would really invite you to dare to open up again to your core self and allow yourself to remove these filters, and your nervous system can calm down when it's seeing that and experiencing that you can connect with your core and take decisions based on your core again. If you're listening to this and you're not a type 4, but you are close to a type 4, I would advise you to give space. In our world, it seems very dramatic and very intense when type 4 is opening up for their emotions and their inner world. And suicidal thoughts are very common. It's like on a daily basis. It's almost as if type 4 is not having suicidal thoughts sometimes. They are not alive. Like, what are they living for if they are not questioning their existence? And also because it is extremely hard for type 4 to be here on earth, and they need to kind of choose life over and over again in order to keep up with it, because it's very tiring and it's very hard to be present when the world is so masculine at the moment. Type 4 is definitely here to be the bridge that are uniting us with the new world, with the new age that we are going into. Type 4 is definitely our guides, and which is why it's so important, in my opinion, that we start accepting and appreciating type 4s, and not just seeing them as lazy and they don't do anything, but really taking their spirits seriously, and also let them guide us in this whole emotional experience that we are dealing with now, with the world being very, very tense and very difficult and very heartbreaking. Type 4s are definitely our leaders in order to hold space for that, and for us to sit with these feelings and feel it and let them motivate us. So to give space, acknowledge and respect that it is really hard. They are really trying their best. It is really hard for type 4 to deal with all the practical things in a household, to deal with a lot of people, a lot of issues. They take in all the emotions, and we can support them so much by acknowledging that and not making them wrong for it, not pushing them, but trying to encourage them and motivate them into expressing that and not suppressing it, not just getting it away, or oh, now you start talking again, oh, here we go again with suicidal thoughts. But to ask them, what do you need, how do you need me to support you? Often it's helping type 4 to try put words onto how they're feeling, and in that process they get activated in their inspiration to be able to express it, to be listened to, so they can get out of their head and down in their spirit again. I hope that this episode has got you some insights and some information that is useful. I hope that if you're listening and you're type 4, that you feel seen and that you feel encouraged to open up to your full self. The world is so ready for you. The world is so ready for you to expand your, to use your superpower and expand into your wisdom. We need you to step into your leadership. We need you to step into creating, so we can have a great leader and we can have some safe spaces to step into now that we need to change into this new world. And now that our old world is falling and we get triggered in all these big feelings, we need you to step out and lead us and create safe spaces where we can enter to calm our nervous system. Please let me know what you think about all this. If it makes sense, if you disagree, you're welcome to disagree. I would love to hear from some type 4s as well. What made sense, what resonated, what didn't. Find me on marie.boer on Instagram, or search on Human Next Level and reach out to me. Until next time.